What's up, everyone? This is Nathan Abbott from Abbott Realty Services. Looking forward to sharing with you this interview with my good friend Phil McDonald from Black Bear Bread Company. They are truly a local's favorite spot along our Emerald Coast, and there's big things to come, brighter days ahead. Hope you enjoy. All right, man. We're recording right now. First of all, I just want to say what's up.
Hey, what's up?
I want to introduce you to everyone. This is my good friend, Phil. Oh, look at that. The light is like I have a light bulb. Phil's been a long-term friend of mine. We grew up together here on the Emerald Coast, lived in Lake Tahoe together, and have been back ever since. I got into real estate. Phil got into cooking, and the rest is history. So I kind of just want to start off and see how have you been through all this and how everything's been going at home and at the restaurant, and we're going to go through some interview questions from there.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Nathan. Yep, we go way back. I remember when we were both starting out in this business, probably at the same time almost, maybe.
Well, Cubay Beach.
It's kind of been in your blood, real estate, your whole life, really. But yes, I mean, we both started our trajectory, I think, at the same time. Things are going great. This obviously has been a major event in our world, in the nation, locally, whatever, the COVID response. And I will say it's been hard. There's been a lot of things. The restaurant industry obviously has taken a major hit, as well as, a lot of hospitality things, because those are the first to get hit. But we are at Black Bear Bread Company in Grayton Beach. We stayed open as our restaurant was designed to do a carry-out situation. So we did okay. We didn't do great, but we did okay. And we were able to feed the community bread and the things that we wanted to give them that they wanted, right, like comforts, and so we were able to stay open. So it was great in that sense. We didn't have to lay off too many people. We had a lot of employees that were willing to work through it. And so now we're on the upward swing now. So I would say overall it was okay. It wasn't as good as we'd like, but it was okay.
You had to get back to the roots of why don't you share with them on how Black Bear, really how it got started from the farmer's market to the name and how you even got to the location where you are now. So how did it all begin?
Yeah. So Black Bear started, it kind of hatched when I lived in New York City. I kind of had this idea to do a sandwich shop. It wasn't a bakery per se. So I was kind of working on these ideas because I was working with a baker in New York. Then my current business partner, Dave Rauschkolb, called me and asked me to move back to take over the Bud and Alley's Pizza Bar in Seaside. And I thought that was going to be a great opportunity for me to learn more about dough and to play with wood fire, which was a lot of fun. So I did. I took that job, and the rest is history with Dave, because he's my partner in Black Bear. And so we kind of, we started baking bread in the wood-fired oven at Pizza Bar, and that's how this whole thing launched. And I said, hey, he had this catering building that was just kind of sitting there. I said, we could turn that into a bakery restaurant. And he agreed, and I wrote up a business plan, and we went for it. And we named it aptly because we couldn't figure out a name for this thing, right? We were just like, what? We had all these kind of goofy names. And then, one day I pulled in and saw some bears rummaging through the dumpster in the parking lot next door. And they were eating our starter, which our bread is naturally leavened. So it's made from a fermentation. It's not, we don't use packets of yeast or anything like that. So we dump 80% of it out every day and regenerate it with new flour and water. The bears seemed to love that. And there was those paw prints all over the parking lot. They were in it. It was all over their faces when they came out of the dumpster. So we decided to name it Black Bear, which I thought was a very dumb name at first. And then I slept on it. And the next morning I was like, that's Black Bear. It's it.
Yeah, we realize how many bears we do have here. And it's funny how that kind of, final piece is created from just something that happened.
Yes.
It makes good hats too and good apparel, which has been a staple in our area.
Great branding due to I Will Design for Food by Jake. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, we have a lot of talent that comes out of our Emerald Coast here, us local boys, and some of the entrepreneurial spirit. One of the things that I've just been stoked to watch is how we kind of, not only did we start at the same time, but through Table 5 Chef and me as an up-and-coming realtor, we had just kind of a unique concept for the market at that time with Table 5 Chef, where we came up with the idea of doing private chef dinners for customers that we sold and their new property, so they didn't even have to go out to the establishment. The establishment came to them, and creative cooking, and that's kind of, it was a unique journey for both of us. And to see you take off to your passion is pretty amazing today, and all self-taught for the most part, just traveling the world and the country, and never been to culinary school, have you? And
No.
just all the it's just been a really unique growth, and obviously a staple for our area. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Phil, is from the having to be in quarantine and the lockdown and things that we went through. I mean, your concept, as you mentioned, has always been kind of a grab and go type property. How are you managing now as they are starting to lift some restrictions for our area? We're starting to see some people getting out and about again.
So we're not, we're still staying with the status quo that we've been with since they shut it down. We're only doing curbside and to go, but we're doing a wait and see approach on lifting things. And the reason why we aren't doing the 25% occupancy, well, it's a twofold reason. The first reason is we don't want to tell customers no, they can't come inside. In the hospitality industry, that's just my thing. You don't want to tell somebody no. And we don't want to have somebody being kind of a bouncer in that respect either. So that was something we just decided to do away with. And the other reason is our place is small. We don't have the square footage to do that particular thing. So what we did do is we created a deck onto the side. My partner in the middle, well, I shouldn't say that. My partner built a deck on the side of our bar room, and now it can accommodate social distancing seating. So we can fulfill that occupancy that the governor had done in the phase 1 rollout easily, but it's outdoors. So we do have a beautiful outdoor seating patio, and people are using it. And, we're just trying to keep everything tight for now, but we hope to reopen the doors in June or this summer sometime.
Yeah, I mean, your whole concept from, I guess, just from being a native to the area is providing a service that really catered to the locals and the tourism that was fortunate enough to find it. Almost like we're no longer speakeasy now, but in the beginning, it was just finding this new urbanized, unique concept that a lot of them haven't heard before, and it's been spread through just local referral. I think that's one of the things that's really has been able to keep y'all moving forward, is because it is kind of that grab and go, come and get a coffee, sit outside, talk with a friend, and then take some great food home with you. And anyone that has gone there they love that, because if they want to sit down and chill for a second, they can, but it's more like grab this great food, bring it home and enjoy it with your family, which is a new concept compared to the sit down for every meal.
Well, we wanted just not to interrupt, but we wanted the whole plan behind it from day one was to create a community hub. We wanted a place that people went to every day, not just once a week or once a month for an occasion. Of course, those are destination places. So we wanted to create something with very good food that people could come and access every single day. And that was kind of the idea behind it. And it was spawned from my time living in Brooklyn, because there's all these specialty stores in Brooklyn, and they don't necessarily cater to tourists, but they do, because there's a lot of tourists in New York, but it's more for people who live there. But if the tourists love it, then amazing, that's great. But first and foremost, it was for people who lived, it was our community. Yeah,
I was talking with another local realtor, Bobby Johnson, that we're both friends with, and he said, one of the things that you notice when you travel, and you're starting to see that concept roll through our area. We've always been a tourism destination, but they're starting to get some unique concepts about creative thinking about how do we over time make this the greatest spot for the people that live here as well. And I think of that as that grows with things concepts that you're doing, some other great entrepreneurial spirit here, that we're going to have this just kind of unique coastal town connection. One of the things I think from growing up here with you and so many people is that there's just this great area creates a unique bond that's hard to find really anywhere in the country, because you still have that small town environment. It's been really unique through this pandemic to see how everyone kind of unites locally. I think we've done a great job with that. We're starting to see For the most part, they've kept the cases down really low, and we're starting to see people, get out and about, and the weather during this time has been about as beautiful as I can remember. No humidity and just the perfect spring day. So we're encouraged to start seeing people get back here. And there's a big, next addition to what you're looking to do with Black Bear as well. Could you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So we were so blown away by the success of the location here, which has been humbling. So we decided to move a little further west to do another location, and then we're going to open our Grand Boulevard location the early June. So
great.
very, very short time away. Yeah, we're getting close. We actually were quite ready before COVID had hit, but we had to put everything on halt. So we're kind of reassessing now and getting everything back together. But yeah, it's going to be at the Hyatt Place in Grand Boulevard, and it's going to be I think it's going to be great. It's going to be another amenity for the people of Sandestin and Grand Boulevard, because I feel like they need another coffee option there as well, and our pastries and bread. So we're excited to fill that marketplace.
Yeah, I'll have Black Bear on each side of my house now, so depending on what direction you're going, we'll be able to swing in. For the people that don't know, share with us the type of coffee that you have that you specialize there at Black Bear.
So we source our coffee from Stumptown Coffee Roasters out of Portland, Oregon. But the roaster that we buy from is in New York. It's in Brooklyn. But they're headquartered out of Portland. Stumptown was the name for Portland back in the logging days, because that's where a lot of the logging took place in America. So that's why they called it Stumptown. That's Portland's nickname.
Yeah.
Stumptown's been a roaster that's been around for about, I would say, a little over 25 years. In addition to their great coffee and their amazing blends and their super amazing single origin coffee, they are a direct trade and a B Corp, which means everything's organic. Everything they touch is organic. Everything is, amazingly picked through and sought after. But the relationships we built with Stumptown, the people, the management, the owners, I mean, they're just so cool.
Right.
From top to bottom. They support us. We're the only Stumptown not distributor, only Stumptown merchant in all of Florida, basically.
Right.
So it's been really cool that they trusted us with their brand through Black Bear. They saw our branding and it kind of was just a fit. So we're very pleased to do drip coffee by them. We do espresso drinks, cold brew, everything. So we're just excited.
You have true baristas that are, coffee experts. It's a great experience. I show people, take a picture every time when they do the like little heart symbol in the cappuccino. It's like, it's really amazing. And then I've also really loved the concept next to the Black Bear and Grayton with Bar Room, with the organic wines and just that style. We'll kind of end it with that. And I'd like people to hear about how great Bar Room is too and what your concept is there.
Well, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Bar Room was a concept that I really, really wanted to do from the beginning, but, it just didn't fit what we were doing quite yet at Black Bear. But we acquired the building next door. It became available, and we said, okay, this is perfect. Let's do a place where people can get light snacks and delicious natural wines. And so it's based around the natural wines. And what that means essentially is you can have organic wines and you can have, biodynamic wines, which are great. But what are they putting in those grapes, in that wine after they harvest the grapes? Well, natural wine is basically minimal intervention wine. So it's essentially grapes that are just fermented and put in the bottle. Some of them aren't even filtered. I mean, we have wines that have grape skins in them that are cloudy, but they're delicious. So, that sort of thing has been going on for centuries in France, and we're just starting to get really a hold of it here in the United States. And I think it's starting to become a thing because a lot of the local distributors are now starting to carry those wines when they didn't a few years ago.
Right.
So it's amazing. And we have a good staff there that can educate people on what we're doing. And also we do charcuterie and we do oysters. And the only oysters we like to do at Bar Room are Gulf Coast farm-raised oysters, which we find the quality of those is exceptional. And there's so many amazing oyster farmers here in Apalachicola, Alabama,
Right.
and all over the Big Bend area of Florida that we're just super stoked about.
Yeah, to be able to harvest your seafood right out of pretty much just around the corner in our hometown is pretty amazing. And people don't realize just the incredible variety of seafood that we have here and the farmers that are north of here. I mean, we just really have a staple of really organic foods in this area that you don't see in big cities at times.
Absolutely. The Gulf of Mexico is my inspiration for about almost everything I like to cook. I mean, it's, the bounty that we get from there. I mean, were you talking from amberjack all the way to snapper to cobia right now?
Mm-hmm.
The shrimp. I mean, Gulf shrimp, that's a brand. You can't get shrimp this good anywhere in the world except for here in the Gulf of Mexico. So it really is nice. Gulf shrimp is a brand. It's a brand name, and it's one of our biggest exports out of here. So it's really great. So
well, like you, man, I this area that we call the Emerald Coast, it is to be able to watch it from the inception to where it is today, and the new introductions from people we're seeing. We knew the growth was going to come growing up here, but to see it and to have true locals that are paving the path for new adventures to come in this area is just really awesome to see. I mean, you think about so many of our childhood friends and what they're doing with their creativity and their talent, entrepreneurial mindset. It's just a great spot to not only live, but to work and to build relationships. I mean, I just want to tell you how much we appreciate you and look forward to getting Black Bear fully opened again and like it has been and get to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, man, same to you, man. You guys are killing it with your marketing and branding and the way you guys do is the Hip Hop Wednesday still happening?
No, Hip Hop Hump Day retired. We have some new concepts coming up, but one of our favorite Hip Hop Hump Days was at Black Bear.
Yeah.
Good times for sure. But I mean, I think with our marketing, we just try to keep it light, have a good time. We work so hard and take that serious, but you got to laugh and love life at the same time, or why are we working so hard?
That's why you're on the cutting edge, brother.
Well, man, I appreciate it, and we look forward to sharing this with others, and hope you have an awesome day on the sunny coast we have.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Brother. Later, man.